You gonna lie?
Yes, we are.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hey, I ain't in
There we go. There we go.
Hi.
Welcome to Mona, Mina, and Karen.
Hi.
And Kiana today.
Who's that?
That's me.
That's you.
Hey, me.
This is Kiana. This is me.
I'm gonna come on.
Yeah, you know me. Don't mind my hair.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Today we're playing Kenny G. We are not entitled to this song.
We don't own the rights.
We don't own the right to his music or entitled to his music.
How you doing? Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, guys. That's a chicken finger dance.
Who got lipstick on?
I got not white lips. That's what I got.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Thanks for tuning in to Mona, Mina, and Karen. I'm Mona.
This is Mina.
And Karen.
And our host today, well, our little introduction today is Kiana. She'll be here for a quick second to introduce something that she loves
So very much.
so very much. So we told her she can be on for a few. So hope you enjoy. I'll be back.
Okay, so today instead of doing our meditation, we're going to start with our lovely Kiana. And she's going to start with the topic today. What is our topic today, lady?
Chicken tenders versus empanadas.
Okay, present your argument.
We all love food, right?
Indeed.
All right. Now, some people like chicken tenders more than they like empanadas. Some people like empanadas more than like chicken tenders. I love both. Exhibit A.
Exhibit. They can't see your exhibit.
Oh, I know that.
Mina, turn your volume down.
1, 2. Empanadas, right? I like chicken tenders. What do you like?
Me? Empanadas. Seriously, because like you can put a chicken tender in an empanada. I'm saying next level.
Empanadas.
Empanada.
Para mí.
Collard greens and platanos.
Para mí.
Empanadas for you? Okay.
Mommy, think about it.
I like both.
You're not reining in for us here. We need a deciding factor.
Nope, I like both.
What you say, Lisa?
I like
What do you
both
say?
Too, but still, empanadas you could.
It's a meal.
Yeah.
You gotta add something to
the
chicken
dough.
Chicken tenders.
fingers. Yeah, but okay, chicken tenders. Okay, what do you present your argument? Like, why chicken tenders?
Because
Why?
they're delicious. Like, they're so crispy. And if you get them from Popeyes, they're extra crispy. But, like, you know, if you get them from McDonald's, they're just there. They don't make you happy. They just are there. If you get them from Popeyes or, like, you know.
Wendy's.
Wendy's or.
They have the best chicken nuggets.
Restaurant. It's so good. But if you want to get an empanada, it's only, like, made
okay.
one way.
Lisa weighed in. She said chicken tenders.
Yeah.
You made her very happy, Lisa.
I love her.
Anyway, okay. So now let's get to what we wanted to talk about for the day. Since chicken tenders win, okay, that means Kiana has to make us all some chicken tenders for next week. That's the deal, right?
What?
What? Oh, you did. Oh, I didn't tell you what the consolation prize was. Oh, okay. So everybody come over. We're gonna have chicken tenders a la Kiana next week. See, now you don't like it. Oh, now you want empanadas?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway.
I got you next week. Okay, bye.
Bye, Kiana.
Okay, make your seat.
That actually relaxed me. I like that.
Talking about food, isn't that terrible?
Well, we needed a segue for what we're going to talk about today because today was not a subject that's very melancholy. So we're waiting for our co-host, Miss Mona, to come on in. Hi, Miss Mona.
Hello.
Are you on yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Oh, Kiana, she said bye. All right. We wanted to give everybody a few seconds to get in here, but it's actually a lot to talk about. So maybe we should go ahead and start. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay. We are talking about the show called A Million Little Things. We discussed talking about it last week, and we all watched it. We watched it again today just to get some more topics, to get a little bit more insight on it. And I promise you.
Can we get a thumbs up of anybody who did happen
See
to watch
it?
the
Yeah,
show
if you saw it, please
last
let us know.
night?
Because the next 5 to 10 minutes will be spoiler alerts. So I apologize. I do not want to turn you off, but we will be discussing some of the things that actually happened in the show that happened this week. It premiered yesterday at 10 o'clock last night. So I'm not sure if you had a chance to watch it. It was on NBC or ABC.
ABC Channel 7.
ABC.
A million little things. If you watched it, let us know.
I gotta come out of here so I could invite people. Nobody said yes yet. So I think I could say it. Okay, if you don't say yes, then I'm gonna assume that you saw it and we could just keep talking.
Sorry. Okay, everybody. I'm back. Sorry for the delay. I was trying to get my phone on live. Okay. So, like we are discussing today, A Million Little Things was a TV show that just came on yesterday, which is Wednesday. It comes on every Wednesday at 10 o'clock on Channel 7, ABC. They watched it yesterday. I didn't get a chance to, so I watched it today. So they came over and we watched it again so we all can talk about it. And if you didn't get a chance to watch it,
Tune in next week.
I really enjoy. I can't wait to the next, because I was already upset and getting like what is going on. So hopefully you will tune in and watch it. It's called A Million Little Things. A Million Little Things, and it's so far it was very interesting. I mean, even though Karen spoiled a little bit for me.
Spoiler alert.
But we love her dearly. She can't see.
She was supposed to watch it.
Well, I was tired last night. I'm sorry, But did anybody watch it? If you did, thumbs up. If you didn't, sorry, we're about to spoil a little bit for you. Go ahead.
You're still here.
No, I don't know what's going on.
I think it's the internet.
Isn't it raining? Or that's the fan?
That's the fan. All right. So the premise of the show. Sorry, it's a TV show. It's a drama. The premise is about a set of friends. And as you can tell on the commercial, without spoiling anything for anyone, one of the friends commits suicide.
They're all guys, males.
And some are married. Four guys. One of the 4 guys commits suicide somewhere towards the beginning of the actual show. Some are married, some are single, some are going through some health scares, some recovered health, each one of them comes with their own set of problems and adversities and positive things going on in their lives, each one of them. So we can't even really say that they all have adversities because all of them have overcome or is overcoming something currently. To give a little more input.
And the problem that they're discovering is they don't understand why the friend did what he did. They had no idea. They spent quite a bit of time together as friends, going to hockey games, season ticket holders. So that was a game all year, and they just didn't understand why their friend didn't reach out to his wife, them, or anyone, that he did what he did. And some felt guilty.
I think all of them felt guilty.
They all felt guilty, but one in particular, because he was always there for him specifically through his alcoholism and other things. And he just was so, and he actually called him. He was the last person he reached out to before.
Say spoiler alert
Ooh,
first.
spoilers.
Spoiler alert. That's her favorite.
Okay.
For everybody that's just tuning in, hi. Mona, Mina, and Karen, thank you for tuning in. We are talking about a show that came on, A Million Little Things. It came on yesterday at 10 o'clock on Channel 7. That's ABC. And we was talking about it last week on the show, saying that we was going to get together and watch it. And today we're talking about it. So hopefully you saw it. And if you didn't, we're sorry, because we're going to do a lot of spoiler alerts for you, because it was something that we wanted to talk about today. And it's about depression and knowing each other. That, you know, you spend time with each other and you learning each other and you hanging out with each other. But do you really know what's going on with that person?
How much do we really tell our friends?
Right.
I mean, when you get with your friends, everybody has that friend that they can tell everything to. But there's still something you keep away from them. I don't care what it is. It can be, my ear itches on Thursdays. Whatever it is, there's something that you keep away from that one person. You can tell everything. So that means that there's no one person on this earth that knows everything about you except to you. And in this situation, unfortunately, the thing he didn't tell, or which we still don't know what that was, the thing that he didn't reveal, the thing that he didn't share with his best friends, is the thing that killed him. Well, drove him to suicide, unfortunately. So it's at a point where now they're trying to figure out what did they really know about their friend, how close they really were with their friend. So much so that one brings up the point of, how much do we really know about each other? Do you even know the color of my eyes? And he closes his eyes. And they all had to now figure out how much they really knew about the friend. My aunt gave me a list of different questions that you can ask. You're really supposed to ask your spouse, but you could ask a best friend, you could ask a kid, you can ask anybody who's close to you some of these questions. And the questions were very close to what makes me angry, what's my favorite food, what movies make me cry, what is my soft spot, how do I like, what kind of movies do I like, all kinds of different things that you could ask somebody that if they know you, they should know. But I think they were surface questions,
Right,
to me, because knowing the color of somebody's eyes doesn't say that you know or don't know them, because we just did it earlier and I got her eyes backwards. So it doesn't mean that I don't look at her eyes. It just means that I didn't realize it was the opposite.
And also the title of the show is A Million Little Things. And as you watch it, you can look at a million little things. You can get a million little nuggets from each different part of the show to talk about.
So like, what was the most pertinent thing that you learned on this show?
What was this? The head guy, the guy who actually killed himself was actually the leader of the group. He was so focused on helping. Sorry, spoiler alert. He was so busy helping everybody else. But I think that was his way of dealing with what he was going through, by helping everybody else.
But we still don't know why he actually did what he did. Yes. So we still very excited about watching some more, but it's just yeah, talking about what's going on right now. It's a good movie for our topic, and what are we doing here today for everyone to let everybody know, you know, depression that is real. It's real. It's real. It's out there. And like we can't say we always say this, or I always say this, it just a second, a minute, just to call somebody, talk to somebody, or, you know, I know it's easy said than done, but somebody, you know, to reach out to somebody, because we don't want to see anybody, somebody give a call and be like, oh my goodness, I was just talking to such and such yesterday, and then, you know, and it's not because they were sick, or not because they, you know, was in a hospital. It's just because they were so depressed and they didn't know what to do, and they just felt like they didn't have anybody, and then they just commit suicide.
One of the best scenes that I saw on this show was when the one of the women at the funeral described what depression was, and her analogy of depression was about when was it John F.
JFK.
John F. K. No, it wasn't JFK. Was it that?
It was John F.
Junior with
Junior.
Junior in the plane. Okay. They found that in his black box, they found that at some point before he actually crashed, he had the ability to pull up by just following the horizon. Even though he had lost control, if he had just followed the horizon, he would not have crashed. As he went down, he had gotten that notion, he figured it out, but it was too late to pull back up. So she described that as being depression, losing your way, forgetting to keep your eye on the horizon. And then once it's too late, you can't pull yourself back out. I don't know anybody who's been depressed who can't say that that was not somewhat what you felt. Like you feel yourself going, and then when you're in the midst of it, you can't pull up. You because you've lost where you were supposed to stop at. You lose that stopping point when you can just pull back. You know what I mean? You lose it. And that was the best way that I could see to describe what I feel when I go through depression and find myself not being able to get out of the bed, or find myself not being able to talk to someone about what's going on with me, or find myself not being able to shake it off, so to speak.
Right. And the young man, the friend that killed himself, he told one of the friends that no matter how hard it is, it's going to get better. I promise you. He was so busy encouraging everybody else that he didn't, you know, we're good at encouraging and holding other people up, but we never take the time to check to take our own advice sometimes.
Yeah.
And the idea of depression sometimes is more than just a mental health issue. It's a physical thing. Like you can get stabbed and feel stabbing pain, but depression is a pain that you just can. It's like when the most devastating suicide I experienced was Robin Williams. I grew up with him with Mork and Mindy, and just when he killed him, I was like, my God, what pain must he have been in to want to do that? And that's you know, I understand the pain, but it's just, my pastor used to always say, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. It's not always going to be that bad.
Not going to always be that sad.
Right, it's not always going to be that sad. You just have to keep your eye on the horizon, keep your eye on positive things. And just as one friend was going to kill himself, another friend had a mouthful of pills.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
We didn't know we was gonna get.
And the call he got,
word for word, okay.
he stopped to answer a phone call from another friend to say that the friend that killed himself had just killed himself. So it's just unbelievable.
And both had very good surface lives. I say surface because you never know what's going on in somebody's head, but both of them were well off. Both of them had beautiful wives. Both of them had lovely families. Both of them had great body of friends. Both of them had what you would call a good life, you know. But as he said, the one that lived. As he said, yes, I know you can look at me and say, I have this wonderful wife, I have this beautiful career, I make good money. He said, but sometimes I just can't find my way. And sometimes I feel like if I just let go, it'll stop hurting so much. And that problem with that is that, like she said, a permanent solution to a temporary problem. No one situation is constant. No one thing, happiness, sadness, chance at the window, no one thing is
scaring us to death.
Yeah, she did. She scared me. But no one situation is constant. Nothing is going to last. Nothing.
Yes.
So it's rough, but you have to look for your horizon.
Yeah, you have to, because it's like we say all the time. I mean, we all need somebody to reach out to call, to talk to, or and my thing, I feel like me watching the show, I relate a little bit, because I mean, I feel like I'm always the one to make sure everything's okay, make sure everybody's good, make sure this is that, and I go through my thing, but I have support. That's the only thing that I think is different, because I will talk about what's wrong with me now. Back then, I probably wouldn't. I'm not going to lie. Back then, I probably would just shut down. I help everybody, do everything for everybody. And then I'm in the corner crying and being sad and being upset and being, depressed. But I learned by going to groups, by talking to people, going to my talking to my therapist, talking to my girls, my best friend, my kids, babe. Everybody know who babe is. So I feel like, with that kind of support, I can sit here today and talk about me. I can talk about what's been going on with me. I can talk about what I've been through. But before, I wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, if y'all came to me a couple of years ago and said we was going to do this, and I met them, I probably would be like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want nobody to know my business. I don't want nobody to talk about me. I don't want to see, and me growing into where I'm at now, I'm happy I have somebody to talk to when I do feel sad, or I feel lonely, or I feel like something's going on with me, or if I can't take it. So somebody asks us, what's the topic? Well, the topic is, we're talking about a movie that we saw, which is A Million Little Things. It's a TV show that comes on ABC, on Channel 7. It's about a guy, 4 guys that are best friends, and one of the friends died. He killed himself, actually. He jumped off a building. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. And nobody didn't know what was going on with him. He didn't have nobody. I mean, he had friends, but he did so much for his friends. He made sure his friends was good. He made sure everything was taken care of, this and that. But we don't know what was really going on in his mind to make him do that. So, like we told everybody, hopefully you'll tune into the show. It's called A Million Little Things. It comes on Wednesday at 10 o'clock on Channel 7. And we will definitely be tuning in also to watch it. It's season 1. Episode 1. And I don't know how many episodes it's going to have, but I think everybody should tune in and just watch it once. I mean, hopefully you get stuck on it and you keep watching it to the end, because we will be watching it to the end and we'll be discussing it more. And I was just saying about myself is, I'm glad, we're here doing this on the show for mindfulness, to let everybody know, it's okay to open
not
up.
Be okay.
Yeah, it is. It's
That's
okay
it.
not to be okay.
It's okay not to be okay.
And we want you to know that if you can't reach out to one of your friends or family members or somebody, we're here. We are here. And
Weekly therapy.
We will be here. If you hit us in our inbox, we read them. If you need us to answer back, we will answer. Email us, anything. Our whoever doesn't have us on Mindfulness is Mindfulness with Mona, Mina, and Karen. That's our Facebook name. Mindfulness with Mona, Mina, and Karen. This is also my Facebook Live, and also Tawana, which is, her name is Mina, but on her Facebook is T-U-N-A.
Tuana. Amina McQueen
Right. And Karen is Karen
Hall.
Hall. So those are Facebook names and everything. But our Facebook is Mindfulness with Mona, Mina, and Karen. You can always go in underneath and touch base with us if you want to talk or anything, or leave us a message. We are always here. We always checking it. We always calling and checking on each other. And we always say, did you see the post? Did you comment? You know, somebody need to. So we are here.
One of the things that Karen brought up earlier that really like resonated with me was that she said, even though he was the leader of his group, he committed suicide, even though he had, down to the very end, he had everyone's best interest, not only at heart, but he actually put action to everything that he had in his heart with his friends and his family. He was a good provider. He was a positive friend. He was a positive husband. He was a positive person, even with his coworker. But what she said is that when you're the leader, it becomes, what is it?
Just overwhelming and a burden.
Yeah, but there were three words you used.
A sense of some form of codependency there.
Codependency.
He always had to be in control.
Exactly.
Even after he was gone, they were still getting alerts on their phone about, okay, time to get together, time to do this, what? They all grown and they were all capable of paying their own way, but he didn't take money from them for the season tickets.
Spoiler. Go ahead. You keep doing it. You can say an overview.
Did she say spoiler alert at the beginning?
Yeah, I meant we were going to give them a premise, not the show. But okay, so since you know the show now, basically him being the leader, what I meant was that she came up with these three words. One was codependency, which if you're the leader and now your dependent, so to speak, no longer need you, there's a sense of loss in that. No longer do you have control was the word that you used. Control, codependency, and what was the last one? Control, codependency, and you said one more.
You know, Karen.
Blank drawing. Okay, spoiler alert, she lost it. Anyway, so those I didn't realize that I suffer from the same thing, and I had a great conversation with a friend of mine after I watched it last night, 11 o'clock at night. We typing each other about the show and what we thought was going to happen or what we thought we saw in the show. And when he made the comment about the leader, it really like resonated with me because oftentimes in my family, that's exactly who I am. And when they no longer want me to be involved, although they didn't involve me up to the last minute, and now they don't want you to be involved, you're invested. So now you almost feel like somebody's taking something from you. So that can be a bit rough too. It can also cause depression because you feel robbed, so to speak.
Yes, Crystal, you have to watch it. It's good. It's very good. Like we said, we talked about it last week. We told everybody we was gonna watch it. So we told everybody to tune in and watch it. And so we're talking a little bit about it. But when we watch it the next episode, we're not gonna say anything. We're gonna probably watch 2 more and then we'll come back and discuss more. But we just wanted to keep everybody informed, and please watch it. Please tune in. It's a good show. So far, since we saw it, it's very good. And we can't wait till Wednesday to watch it again. So
it really stresses the importance of communicating beyond the surface. Like the color of your eyes to me, like Mina said, is a surface thing. Like I may know your color of your eyes, like the shirt you have on is blue, but do I know you're feeling blue on the inside? No. That doesn't mean you're feeling blue on the inside.
Exactly.
Maybe we should do that. Everybody should wear a color. You remember the move rings back in the day?
Oh yeah, or the lipstick when you was a little girl, you wear the lipstick.
If you have trouble talking, maybe we should start a color scheme that people, like they have the emojis.
And I don't wear lipstick, so if I wear some lipstick, y'all gotta know something's wrong with me, because I don't wear lipstick. So if I got on red, y'all need to hit me, call me, and say, why are you firing right now?
I don't wear lipstick, but I couldn't take the white lip online.
She got all lipstick on today.
Because I couldn't be white mouthed online. That was it.
But speaking as a former self-proclaimed stuffer, that was my way of dealing with things. I just didn't talk about it. I just stuffed everything let everybody do what they want to do. But then, boop, I had a stroke. And that, it wasn't until I had the stroke that I realized that that was not the way to deal with issues that I was having. I was like, okay, what's going on? Why am I doing this? And I finally went and got sought help, got some counseling, and discovered in my own self that had I talked more, I wouldn't have struggled in my some of my personal relationships the way I had. But you know, you teach people how to treat you.
That's the truth.
Yes, you do.
That's
Yes,
the
So when they're
truth.
used to you going along with everything, as soon as you say, "Oh, I don't want to do that no more," they're like, "What you mean? What you mean?"
My ex-husband said, don't start something you can't finish. And I said, what does that mean? He says, well, if I give you $50 every day for 1 year, on the next day of that first day of that next year, I owe you $50. I'm like, how do you count? He said, because I have grown you accustomed to a certain way. I have made that a part of your life. So now you are accustomed to this. It belongs to you. You are entitled to it. I'm like, so okay, so if I treat you like garbage and you do nothing, you say nothing, or if every time I ask you if everything's okay and then I start, and you say I'm fine, and I start rambling on about me, and I never give you segue, then you taught me how to treat you that way. You taught me not to concern myself with your feelings.
That's why it's so important as parents to teach your kids how to live without you. God forbid you do everything for your children. God forbid something happened to you, your children are gonna be out back because only you gonna do everything for them. They get out in the real world, they're on their own.
Yes, true.
Very true.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask a question. Friendship. What keeps them together? And the relationship of having depression. So you're going through depression and you have friends. You have a best friend. Everybody has that best friend that y'all been together for years, that y'all tight, like your bond is like no other bond, that you know, if you don't talk to that person that day, it's like you're going crazy. And then you have friends that I call they're friends, but they're not as close as that best friends. You know, but there's a friend that you can call if you can't get in touch with that best friend. So I want to know, do everybody have that one friend? And that does that one friend that you are so tight with, that you know that you can't do nothing without that friend, do they really know you? Do they really know all about you and what you're going through? Just a little bit? Because if that's really your friend and you know that anything, if I'm crying on the phone, or if my friend, if I pick up the phone and I go, hey, she called me, and I go, hey, she hear it in my voice, like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. She gonna go, no, you can't tell me. And she's not looking at me now, but she just hears my voice. You need that. Like I said, you have to tell somebody. If you ain't gonna tell your friend, your mama, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, go seek help.
And another sad part about the show is how devastated the friends were at the end, that they didn't see, they didn't have any clue. They didn't have any clue as to what he was going through. They felt so bad to be around him and spend so much time with him. They didn't know, and that's got to be devastating. To be around somebody and you think you know them and you think you know what their likes, their dislikes, their hurts, their woes, but for them to do something like that, the friends were devastated, even the wives
Of the friends.
Yeah. Yes, they were.
So when you think you don't matter to people, you really do. You really do. You just don't know how much.
And if anybody ever want to call in to talk on the show, if you want to say something, you can call at 347. We always will have a different number. The fact is, because right now, like we said, we're in work in progress. So but we still want you to understand that we're here no matter what. So even if you call the number while we're not on air, it's okay. Just to let you know, it's okay. So if you can leave a message and somebody will definitely get back to you. So the number you can call today, if you want to call in, is 347-971-6019. You can call in if you want to talk or express your feelings on over the phone. Please feel free. We're trying to read all the comments that we can for everybody that's tuning in. We're trying to read all your comments out loud and let everybody know that you're tuning in, who you are, and we like to answer them the best way we can. Like I said, we're not doctors. We're just telling you our story.
Lately, a lot of celebrities have been coming out and speaking about mental health illness. One of the celebrities is the Empire's own Taraji P. Henson, and she has a organization or foundation that her father, I believe, is the one that's sick. Yeah, her father and her founded. It's called the Boris BORIS Lawrence Henson Foundation.org. And their motto is break the silence to break the cycle, which I thought was very pertinent in this situation, because oftentimes if you just open your mouth,
Closed mouths don't get fed.
yeah,
So just like, you're not going to eat if you don't say I'm hungry. You're not going to get anything. If you're cold, you're not going to get a coat unless you say you're cold. So open your mouth and say, I don't feel good. I'm not feeling right now. I'm not there. We also have Michael Phelps.
Yeah, right? Michael Phelps also suffered from depression for actually a very long time, and just recently, over the last 5 years, got help.
Of all of his gold medal winning.
Absolutely,
he was if you don't know, he was how you call
Olympic
it?
swimmer.
Olympic swimmer. Mm-hmm.
A gold medalist.
Gold medalist, yes.
And what did you say? You talked about the lines.
He's every time he swims and going for the Olympic or training or working out, as his mind is going, he says the black lines in the water is like, if you go in the pool and you doing a race, they have black lines, so you have to stay in your lane. And he said the black lines don't talk back. So if he's swimming and he's going through something and he's talking like, I don't know how I'm doing this. I don't know what he was saying. I'm just saying in my head, but he's saying the black lines don't talk back. They're not helping him in a way where he needs the help of what he's going through.
The organization that he got help through was called Talkspace.org. And if you do /Phelps, you can actually see his story. Talkspace.org is for everyone. And its motto is, it's okay to not be okay. The last one, and all of these are in the link in our description, and the description for today's show.
Mm-hmm.
The last one is National Society. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline, which is 1-800-273-8255 or TALK. It's 1-800-273-8255 or the word TALK. It's the National Suicide Prevention.org, and they also have an online chat. So you can actually speak to somebody right now. And if you don't want to talk to anybody, for our millennials, you can chat with somebody right now. It's an epidemic. Yeah. I'm not saying that it wasn't prior to. I'm not saying that this is new. I'm just saying now we have so many avenues and so many people to talk to, so many people that will listen, so many, even if it's not somebody sometimes you have to reach out to somebody you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who has no stake, somebody you can explain the horrible thing that you think that you did that you can't live with. You can talk to somebody who has no judgment of you at all because they don't know you. They don't expect anything from you. So even if you just need to get something out, it doesn't have to be suicide. You can just need somebody to talk to. You always say the warm line?
So in New Jersey, the state of New Jersey has a warm line.
How do you get to the warm line?
Well, I looked it up.
Well, if you look up online, it's called the warm line, which is somebody to talk to when you don't have somebody or you don't feel comfortable talking about your situation to a family member, a friend. I don't know why, but for some reason, wherever I go, I don't care where it is, in the supermarket, I've been to a club in the middle of the night, I've been to the pharmacy, People tell me their entire life story. One guy decided to come out to me in a club. Don't know why. Just sat there and talked to me. By the time he left, I kid you not, by the time he left, we were both crying. I don't know this man from a can of paint, but I gave him my shoulder because there but for the grace of God go I. And it wasn't because I was interested in what was going on in his life. It wasn't. It was because he needed an ear. Not because I was like, oh, what's going on? I'm just not that nosy. But he needed an ear and I had one. So I gave it because there was a time when I needed an ear, and I think I was 21 years old, and I had just had this tiny little girl, was divorced, in college, trying to get my life together, had this stomach problem where I was acid reflux real bad, and I was just depressed, just running through life, just like, what do I do? How do I get through this life? And since one of my family members decided to take my shoestrings and keys by committing me, not so to speak, she committed me. She got me committed. And so when I got in there, everybody, once they decide that they're going to commit you, first thing they do is assume that you need meds. But I asked them, please, don't give me anything. Please don't give me anything yet. If I get erratic, give me what you need to. Please don't give me anything yet. When they go to evaluate you, they send in a person that's supposed to just take 2 or 3 different sentences to make sure you don't want to kill them and they don't want to kill you. And, you're not schizophrenic or having any issues that way. And this woman sat and listened to me. She put away her pad. She actually closed the door. She turned the lights down because it was a dimmer switch. And we talked for 2 hours. She's supposed to be in there for 15 minutes. When she walked out, so did I. I was no longer committed. They gave me back my keys and my shoestrings, and I was able to go home and begin my life all over again. Doesn't sound like I lost my life, but I was about to, because I couldn't find my way. And this woman gave me her shoulder instead of some medicine. So you never know where that ear is going to come from, but take it when you get it, or give it when you can. If you can't find somebody to talk to, then there's these options. These options weren't available to us back then when I was 21, long time ago. So now we have them. I advise people to take them because it's not that you're weak if you need somebody to talk to.
Oh no, not at all.
But a lot of people feel that way.
No, they do.
A lot of people aren't sure if I got to talk to somebody, then that means I'm crazy. No, it means that you're sane. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. It means you're sane. That's the most sane thing you can do, is get somebody else to talk to.
Yes.
So
that's why my motto every day I walk out this door, my kids know we pray. We ask God, to follow us wherever we go. And I'm that type of person. You never know. Like I said, some people, you don't know what people going through that day or that morning or last night or whatever, or however they feeling. If somebody smile at you, smile back. It's not going to hurt. If somebody say good morning, say good morning. How's your day? Hope you have a blessed day. That was happened today. I went to McDonald's. So I was like, I'm hungry. I didn't feel like cooking. So I was like, okay, let me go get some McDonald's. It was a gentleman there, opened the door for me. I said, thank you. And he was like, when you come out, can you spare some change? And I told him, I said, I don't spare change, but I could buy you some food. I could give you some breakfast if you want. And he was like, oh, I would love that. So I went in. It was a 2 for $4, and I got him a sandwich. I came back out. I gave it to him. And I said, you have a blessed day. And I was like, don't ever feel discouraged if people tell you, no, I don't have it. Or, I said, because some people don't have it. Just like you don't. Some people really don't have it. And he was like, I know. He said, you see, I didn't really, even when you came and go, I didn't even say anything to you because I don't want to get on nobody's nerve. And I was like, don't ever think you're getting on somebody's nerve. I said, and that's why I don't want you to feel that way. If somebody tell you no, don't get mad, don't get discouraged, because the next person, like me, you never know. I said, but you always be high good morning like you was doing, and you just keep a smile on your face, regardless if they hand it to you or not. You did your blessing. And then God will bless you in a special way. Like right now, you have a sandwich. I brought him a coffee, and he was very happy. He let go of the door. He sat down and he ate. So I walk down wherever I go. If I'm in the store, some people in the morning it's very cranky. Like when you go in the store, people like rude. Like, yeah, hello, next. You know, I go, hey, good morning. How are you? How are you? It's nice outside today, or it's raining, and they looking at me like, girl, what do you want?
Get your phone and go.
But no, I still talk because that's what I do. Now I might leave later and be like, yeah, that was a nasty attitude. Woo! But guess what? Maybe the next person that come in here, they be like, good morning. You never know.
Absolutely.
And years ago, I heard a message in church when I was young that still resonates with me today. Every day, God gives you a new opportunity to start over. So if you made a mistake yesterday, you get a whole brand new 24 hours to do it right. Every day is another opportunity to do it, get it together, do it right. Just another opportunity. Every day is another opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
At life, at love, at whatever it is you're searching for.
Yes, it is.
So what did you do with your opportunity today? What'd you do today? Today you gave somebody a sandwich. What'd you do?
You always come up with these random questions in the middle of
Hey, that's what
I'm
we here
saying,
for.
I'm listening to what you're saying. I agree
unscripted.
with what you're saying. Now I'm asking you, what did you do with your blessing today?
She about to tell you something happened to her on the way here.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. 'Cause that was not.
What you do today? What was your blessing today?
Besides opening my eyes, I wasn't a blessing to anybody today.
Okay,
I
that's
wasn't.
okay.
I wasn't. I mean, that I know of.
It's okay.
Yeah, I was too focused on being okay.
And sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. Making sure you okay before you could go out there and make sure your
Yeah,
family okay or
anybody.
anybody else. Hey, how you doing? Huh? No,
Yeah.
how am I doing today? How about that? You know?
Well, since you brought up my trip on the way here, let's bring it
No,
up.
we talking about what you did good. We ain't talking about what happened.
Good
What
thing
good
did
thing
you do
We ain't
today?
talking about none of that.
No, I want to talk about Elizabeth Police.
We're not talking about that.
Why is it you only get tickets in Elizabeth, nowhere else?
Oh my God.
That's not true.
Nowhere else.
I always get tickets in Union.
Anyway, we're not talking about that.
Somebody stopped her today. She's
No, and
upset.
nobody stops on stop signs. In Elizabeth, nobody, not even the bus drivers.
Poor baby.
So were you in the wrong?
No, because the lady heifer wouldn't let me go.
Oh, it's that word, heifers.
I
She
kept
loved that
going.
heifer.
I kept going. You know, you stop and then you ease out. She wouldn't let me go, so I kept going. You're gonna tell me I almost caused an accident? No. And then it was yellow. I went through the yellow. You could go through the yellow. You're gonna tell me I went through a red light? No, it wasn't. I didn't go through a red light. No. All right, that's off topic. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
She had a vent today. See?
Did you curse the cop out?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so
Okay,
you
so-
were a blessing.
You didn't go crazy. You just
You didn't go crazy. You kept your calm. You got here safely. That's a blessing, right?
But I was still
Did you get a ticket?
$85 for each ticket.
She got
He coulda
two tickets.
Each
He
ticket.
could have put one ticket for $85, but trust and believe. I'll be up talking about. You can dispute it online or go to the courthouse. You know what I said? Dude, I know where that is exactly. Please. That's how Elizabeth make their money.
Okay. Well, have you been a blessing to anybody today? Anybody on there want to tell us the blessing that they were today?
And even if you haven't been a blessing to anybody, we're not saying go be a blessing. We're just saying it. You know, like I said, it's okay to just smile at somebody. Like I said, you never know. Even if you're going through a bad day, you don't ever know if you smile at somebody while you're going through the bad day. Somebody might say something. You might run into the right person at the right time. You know, you never know. You know, you can't always. You know, let me tell you something. When you open your eyes in the morning, that's a blessing. And I think when you open your eyes in the morning and you go out there and you start your day, I don't think that you should go out there in a mindset of, oh, today's not my day. Oh my God, I'm gonna have an attitude today. Nobody better not bother me. Y'all better leave me alone.
I wish
get
they
my
would.
call.
Yeah, I wish they would today, because I am ready. You know, and we all done that. We all said that. But guess what? You go out there, you got to remember, I did wake up. Because everybody's not promised tomorrow.
You're not even promised the hours that come
You're
in
not
the
promised
rest
when
of
you
the
step
day.
out your house that you promise that you're going to keep going through the day.
You're not promised when you step off your bed.
Yeah. So
every moment is a
Just
blessing.
have an attitude of gratitude.
Attitude of gratitude.
To
I
be
like
here, because we take so much for
you
granted.
get it.
Take so much for granted.
Yeah.
You know who's a blessing to me? Besides my kids and my family, one specific person is a blessing to me. My brother. My little brother is a blessing to me. And if you all know my story with my little brother, you know that we haven't been in touch for very long. Actually, we got in touch with each other for the first time in 2013. Actually, I got in touch with him in 2012. He was late by getting in touch with me in 2013. And we've been, I want to say, close since that day. If I call this man, I can tell him the worst parts of me. I'm talking the things that you don't want to tell the rest of the world. There's this game they play on This Is Us, the husband and the wife, Randall, and I forget his wife's name. And they play this game with the worst thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And in that game, they say what they think in that situation could happen, could be the worst thing ever. And I could actually play that game with my brother and there'd be no judgment. Like when I say my brother, I can talk to this man where I can't say certain things to everybody. I can say it to him and he does not judge me. About 2 months ago, I wanted to run away. I mean, literally get in my car with whatever little few coins I had and a couple of credit cards, turn my phone off and run away. For real. Did I have a very big reason? Like, was something major happening? No, I was just tired. And so he happened to call me. I know there's a divine intervention. And he called me and I said to him, blah, 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 everything that was going on with me. And he was like, you know what? Let me think about that. And made a joke. Not that he was dismissing what I had to say, but he understood it so much so that he made a joke about himself. And he said, I wish you had a little more Calvin in you, that's my brother's name, because Calvin, he don't like it, he leaves it. He don't think about it. He might mull it over for a week, but that's the most time he gonna spend on anything. And then he's out. Calvin don't have time for no bullshit. Excuse my mouth. But he don't. And I love that about him. And I always say to him, I wish you had a little more me in you, a little bit more stick-to-itiveness. But in that moment, he knew me so well. He understood me so well. And I was able to say the horrible things that I really just couldn't say, even to my best friend, even though he won't judge me. I just couldn't say it to him at that moment because he's always trying to keep me okay. He was like, when is we running? Where we going? You know, and that just made me feel really good. So, yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, you heard your name. Hi, Calvin. So, thank you for being my blessing. So, your sister loves you. So, who was a blessing to you? Even if you weren't a blessing to somebody else, who was a blessing to you over the last week? Or we were a blessing this week to somebody.
Oh, yeah. Come in real quick. We want to send our, again, if you were tuned in last week, we was telling you one of our friends, had surgery, and we wanted to say everything went well. He's doing better. He's home. He's relaxing. He's resting. Still in a little pain, but recovering. But he's recovering. And we had went and visit, and it was a beautiful day.
Even though it rained.
It poured down rain. But the visit was good.
We had nasty cheese fries and gravy. She had the doctor up.
Nobody don't make no homemade gravy like me. So, my mama taught me well. My sister taught me well.
Diners.
But
our friend didn't want us to come, but he got Mona on the phone. Mona was like, "Oh, nope, we coming tomorrow."
Yes.
Period.
But then he also said he secretly really wanted us to come.
Right.
But he didn't,
because he said
that.
He didn't want us to feel like we was a burden on him.
That's another thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a bothering word to me, because stop thinking for other people. How you assume you're a burden to anybody? How dare you? Don't think for other people. If you say to somebody, oh, blah, 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 and they bump you off, yes, you're being a burden. But if they're constantly trying, why do you assume you're a burden to them? It's not. Mind your business. Let them tell you when it's too much.
Yes. And so he's doing great. We still sending our prayers and blessings for a speedy recovery, and that everything works out fine, and he gets all his results back, and he don't have to do this anymore. And he know everything is working out. He called actually earlier today before we started, and he just told us he's fine. He's in a little pain. He was a little stressed about, a little about medications and stuff that they were trying to charge him for. But otherwise, he called to say thank you to us
We love
and
him.
everything. And he can't wait to see us soon. So we just want to say, if you're watching, which he said he would, just rest.
Please.
Don't stress out. Don't let nobody stress you out. And if they stressing, give us a call.
And as he always says, always look for the positive
Yes.
in every situation, even if it's a negative situation.
Mhm.
So understand that there is positivity in negativity, even if you can't see it.
Thank you, Earthy.
What I want to ask is, if you did see the show, what did you think of it? If you saw A Million Little Things last night or today or whenever you watched it, what do you think of it? What did you get from the friends? Because you couldn't get much from the man who actually committed suicide, because they don't give you enough of him.
Not yet.
Not yet. We assume that that's what they're going to get to,
Yes.
is why he killed himself. But what did you think of the friends?
Mhm.
Like we had our own little opinions of the wife, of the best friend, of the wife, the husband and the wife.
new friend.
And the new friend. I liked her a lot. But what did you think of the show? Because we're going to be tuning in every Wednesday, and we're going to talk a little bit about it.
We're not going to go as much.
Yeah, we're not going to go as much.
But we want
that
everybody
face.
to
What's that
tune in
face?
on every Wednesday
Me. That
at
was
10
us.
o'clock to a show that's called A Million Little Things on Channel 7. That's ABC on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. We will be tuning in, and we will be coming back and asking questions. It's a really good show, and we can't wait for more to come. And it's going to open your mind to a lot of things.
Especially if you suffer from mental health.
Yes. It's about mental
Issues.
health and, a whole lot of issues.
And for me, the friends, I felt really bad for them, because people that do commit suicide don't really realize it's more than just them that's hurting. They're not just killing themselves, but they leave behind people that naturally cared for them. And when I have every now and then thought about that, I think about my sister, my kids, of how devastated they would be. And it was nice to see that they portrayed that side on the show, of how the people you leave behind, how you affect them.
And how much they feel guilty. It's sad that you took your life, and now the people you leave behind have to deal with what they did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When they probably did nothing wrong. When they probably had absolutely nothing to do with the pain you were feeling. But that guilt is because they don't understand.
Or not even that they did anything wrong, that they just had no, they like the title says, A Million Little Things. Like they got a million, they were together 1,000,000 hours, or they had 1,000,000 little things in common, but nobody knew this man was suffering.
Or if he was suffering.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing with this show. You don't know if he was depressed,
Excuse me.
if something sudden happened,
Yes.
or if he got some revealed news. They leave you in the dark, which left all of them a few of them are dealing with depression, to feel guilt and remorse and
hurt. They were
hurt and lost,
Mm-hmm.
including his kids. Because it didn't look like he put a lot of planning into suicide.
He just went to work one day and, spoiler alert,
jumped off.
Just went to work one day and just was like.
Well,
right.
a little more comes up to that.
Yeah.
A little more
If you
comes up to
tune in,
that.
if you watch it, we're definitely going to find more of why. Then we all going to sit here and be like, oh, even though we're saying that's not something that we want you to do.
I don't know, because like with This Is Us, they dragged along a long time what actually happened to the dad.
I know.
They dragged it into almost 2 seasons, right?
They
No,
did.
in the
No,
first
first-
season, you find out
Mhm.
that he died.
Mhm.
And I think Hal was in the second one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to drag out why or what really happened or what part each one of them played in what happened with him. However, I think that it brought up one very good thing is how much do you know the people that you're close to? And I'm not talking about like your spouse, because with your spouse, you know things from living in the same room with them.
Mm-hmm.
But how much do you really know about your spouse? Really, not the things they talk about, the things they don't talk about, things that simple little things like what actually makes them sad, what things actually trigger them to no return, what things actually push them over the edge where they feel like they have no recourse. Do you really know those answers? Like, we all want to say yes. We all want to say yes, we do.
Right.
Every last one of us wants to say, I know everything that makes this person tick, but you can't.
Mm-mm.
You can't possibly, because there's too many things that even with your spouse, you're afraid to say for fear of losing them.
True.
So in this situation, in this show, I think they're going to give us different ways to deal with what we feel is loss, or how to deal with depression, or how to deal with, one of them is sick.
Mm-hmm.
How to deal with health issues, which is
Mm-hmm.
something we all go through. How to deal with the loss of a loved one. How to deal with
Commitment.
How to deal with loss of livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
Anything, Karen?
So the show is really, I think it's a really good, I'll give it a thumbs up.
Me too.
Karen?
Thumbs up.
But in the beginning, we talked about chicken fingers over empanadas, and chicken fingers won because we had a deciding factor of Lisa. So Kiana wants to say thank you deeply, Lisa. I don't agree, but don't want to end on a sad note.
No,
so
we
we were
don't.
supposed to play a game, but
next week, we are going to talk a little bit about ourselves and see how we're going to check in on us.
we haven't done a check-in.
Yeah, we haven't done a check-in in a while, so we're going to check in on us for next week to see how we're doing, what's going on with us, each and every one of us. And then we're going to play a game. It's an M&M game, and it's still on mindfulness, it's still on depression, it's still on health, and it's still on, but it's a game, and it's going to be fun. It's with M&M, so we get to eat M&Ms and play a game.
She
My
just liked the
favorite.
M&M part.
I like all chocolate candy, so I don't care. Any chocolate, bring it. That makes me happy. You have chocolate?
I like ice. Sonic ice, very
Yeah,
specifically.
me too, but I need to go to the dentist.
Oh,
I can't
eat
eat
ice
it.
all day long.
But we want to say thank you so much for tuning in tonight.
Check out the show if you haven't had a change.
Please check the show out. Like I said, it's called A Million Little Things, Wednesdays at 10 o'clock on Channel 7.
My brother, my person I told you, always got my back, said, empanadas. Yeah. Kiana's up there yelling at us.
Right there.
Oh, I thought she went upstairs.
She came back down. But we want to say thank you again for tuning in with Mindfulness with Mona,
Nina.
And Karen.
Don't forget to watch A Million Little Things on Wednesdays, Channel 7, which is ABC.
At 10 o'clock.
At 10 o'clock.
A reminder.
And if anything you need that you couldn't get through or we couldn't read any of your comments, please look below and put in you can call us, or you just leave us an email, or you just leave us a comment. Look at below at the link, and we will definitely reach in and touch you. How about that?
I ain't touching no.
I mean, I ain't gonna touch you,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm gonna touch the word and call you back.
We're going to type you. Type. We're gonna type.
Now, but we really appreciate everybody. We really do. Thank you so much.
If there's a subject that you would like to talk about, because we missed a couple last week that we were supposed to get back, and we could not get back to the, not last week, the week before, we could not get back to the comments, and there were a few subjects that they wanted to talk about. A friend of mine who usually comes onto the show, I didn't see him on today, he wants to talk about relationship expansion. Just going to leave it at that, because we weren't sure if we could talk about that on the show. So I want to know how open-minded everybody is before we bring that up.
Start off with, the thoughts and views of said person does not reflect those of mindfulness with Mona, Mina, and Karen, and take it from there.
She made sure she got that in.
So did.
I'm not nay nor pray or nay nor yay.
No,
Nay
yay
nor
or
yay. Right? Nay nor yay.
Yeah, be a pray.
Yeah, right. Woo. You wanted to touch somebody. I was typing.
If he want to let him talk about it on his own page, but since he's going to talk about it here, we'll just say
She got her Bible in her bag too. Look at that.
I don't reflect our views. That's all. That's all. We don't
She's gonna be holding that Bible next week, like shaking, like,
What they say? What is this? Thumping?
we gotta go to Psalm. What we going to?
for Psalms.
She will be right on her scripture. But we'd like to say, as always, in anything, if it is to be, it is up to me. Okay? We love you. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for coming on. If there's a subject you'd like to talk about, put it in the compliment. Oh, my brother said relationship expansion equals he's greedy.
Oh,
yeah.
Amen.
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 But you can because you're cute. So talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.